So it looks like Andrea Berta has wasted absolutely no time. Barely even signed a contract, just been announced today, and already has got straight down to business. And Arsenal have been linked with signing one of the most touted young strikers in Europe, in the planet, in Europe, as reported by David Ornstein over here. Look, let me get it up. Arsenal developing strong interest in Victor Gyokeres as possible striker. Andrea Berta, firm admirer of the 26-year-old sporting forward, expected to figure, I don't know that word, among AFC options, plus maybe a more realistic than Isak, obviously, because he's going to be a lot cheaper than Isak. His release clause, I don't even think Isak's got a release clause, but I know Gyokeres has got one. I think it's like 65 million or something like that, 15 million cheaper than it was in January. And yeah, it looks like Andrea Berta's already wasted no time. This is bad. This is bad news. This is exactly what I expected, by the way. Exactly what I expected from him. One thing about Andrea Berta, you go look through his history at Atletico Madrid. You go look at the history of Atletico Madrid since Diego Simeone's got there, since Andrea Berta's been there. Falcao, Diego Costa, Fernando Torres, Alvaro Morata, Luis Suarez, Aguero. Who else? Forlan. Look at all these strikers that have been at Atletico Madrid. One thing that you can definitely bank on, Arsenal fans, is that Andrea Berta will be adequately looking for a top quality striker. Alvarez is the most recent one. Obviously, Felix is probably the only one that flopped, but is he really a number 9? I think Felix has got more to his game than just being a number 9. I think he's more of a 10 slash sort of false 9. But that you can get one or two that don't work out. The general rule is that Andrea Berta's delivered signing good strikers at Atletico, and yeah. Already looks like they're wasting absolutely no time whatsoever. This is bad news, by the way. This is bad news because he's very much available, Gyokeres. I think he's leaving Sporting this summer. I think we all know that. Man United should be in should be in the hat. Should put our names in there. However, we are nowhere near in the financial situation Arsenal in. Arsenal could pay that 60 million up front, and they could pay it probably within the first week of the transfer window. Man United probably have to sell 2 or 3 players and then be like, oh, can we bend around it? Can we maybe pay an extra 10 million over the release clause? Whereas Arsenal could just get it done straight away. I will really not be surprised. And it's worrying because I thought Sesko was going to be the guy. I thought Arteta had his heart set on Sesko. I thought the club had their heart set on Sesko. But it's already looking like, for me, the Gyokeres is a name in the hat. Who else they're going to look at? Obviously, Isak's, as I say, David Ornstein has literally put the name Isak, but we know that Isak, 1, probably isn't going to leave Newcastle. 2, even if he's open to leaving Newcastle, it's still going to cost in the region of 120 to probably 130 million pound, plus 300 grand a week, plus the 5-6 year deal, plus the massive signing on bonus. It's probably going to end up doing a massive sum of money, maybe needed off the whole transfer budget on one player, when Arsenal probably need 3 or 4 this summer transfer window. Definitely need 3 or 4, with the likes of players leaving, like Jorginho, Partey probably going to leave. They need a striker anyways. Do you know what I'm saying? They probably need a winger as well. Well, they definitely need a winger as well. So it's probably the best option, isn't it? And it's kind of annoying. It really is kind of annoying. Yeah, regards to him, Gyokeres, we all know how good he is. Do you know what I'm saying? I've seen enough of him already to know. You look at the way people are going to look at the league. I do understand that. I'm not even going to use his goals in the Champions League because it's still a bit of a weird thing. However, he suits Arsenal more than I think almost every one of these strikers they've been linked with. Sesko is like Darwin Núñez. He relies on the space, on running the channels and running the space and things like that just relies a bit of chaos, bit of open play. That's why he suits that league. That league's he's doing all right in that league. I promise you, he's not clinical. His ball striking's half decent, but he's not clinical. He's not got a good first touch. He's not as technically sound as Gyokeres. His link-up play's bad. He can't drop into pockets. He can't do link-up play. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a Gyokeres, who actually is decent at link-up play. Isak, for me, I think Isak, again, Isak can probably play anywhere, to be honest with you. Isak can play in any system. He's that good. However, I think Isak's better floating around rather than being in the box, which I think Arsenal need an in-the-box striker, and Gyokeres is in the box. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, he's good at running in behind. Yes, he's good at running the channels. Yes, he's got good link-up play, but he's good at just staying in the box, big target man, send the ball up, chest it, lay it off. Send the ball into the box. I'm there for a header. I don't know how much he's headed. I don't know what his stats are. I don't know his type of goals. I know just watching him that I've seen him score some brilliant goals. Some of his striking, majority of strikers, their ball striking is good. But Gyokeres has got, bruv, trust me, he's got a hard shot on him. Pause. He's got a very hard shot on him. This is going to be a good signing if they do get this across. I hope they don't. I hope Man United get him. As I say, he's my probably top 2 target for strikers for Man United. However, I don't even think it's in question of will Man United go in, not go in for him, but I feel like with Arsenal, they can pay the money up front, whereas I think these other clubs, they can't. I think Chelsea have been linked with him, but I don't think Chelsea are paying that 70 million or 60 million up front. Arsenal definitely can. They're in a much better financial position than both the clubs that are rivaling them. There's probably going to be other ones. Maybe Barca are looking at him, but maybe Barca will look at Isak. I have no idea. However, for me, yeah, Andre Berta's already, as I said, I already thought this guy was going to be good, man. Guys, I already thought this Andre Berta is going to be good. This is the best signing they've made. This is the best signing they can make all summer. This is the best signing they've made in years. This Andre Berta, because even if you want to talk about a manager, I do think if Arteta's not the guy, they'll end up sacking him. If Andre Berta gets the power that they should give him, being the sporting director, should be running the club, yeah, the manager's not going to matter, because eventually if the manager's not good enough, he'll sack him. That's how good this guy is, yeah. And as I say, one thing I always banked on, yeah, I thought they were going to get Sesko, right? But one thing I knew he was getting a striker. Yeah, he was getting someone, because he's done that so many. Just look at his track record, yeah, at Atletico, and go look at the strikers, the amount of strikers they've signed, and the amount of strikers they've actually worked. Yeah, and this Gyokeres guy, as I say, unreal football. I'm not unreal footballer, but unreal striker, and I think he suits them better than every single striker they've been linked with. So weird that they haven't gone back in for Ollie Watkins. Maybe that was that PR? Was that PR? They didn't go back in for Ollie Watkins, did they? But yeah, Gyokeres, top player, man. I know he had a shit game against Arsenal. He's died off a bit since Amorim's. I know he scored a few goals, but I don't think he scored anywhere near the goals he was scoring under Amorim. However, yeah, he just look. I don't like the word profile, but he just looks like he could suit it in the Premier League. He's already played in English football, win a championship. Let me know what you lot are thinking. If you're a United fan, if you're a Chelsea fan, if you're an Arsenal fan, what do you think? Do you think this will be a good signing for Arsenal? Obviously, United fans, we don't want that to happen, because a lot of United fans want Gyokeres, and I think he's probably our best option as a number 9 for what we can get, because even if Isak was available, we can't get Isak. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're going to be looking at like the likes of Gyokeres. We'll look with that Etike or whatever his name is, Osman and things like this. Like these types of players, Gyokeres is the best one out of all of them, most likely, or definitely the most established out of all of them. So this is just bad news, and already they're not wasting time, which is fair enough. Fair enough. This is how a proper club's supposed to be run. And Gyokeres is a player that I think he's already won league titles. All right, it's in a weaker league, but he's a player that for me, he could actually take Arsenal to the top, because they're not at the top. Yeah, they think they're at the top, but they're not at the top. This guy can actually take you to the top, obviously with other signings as well. But yeah, let me know what you lot think. Subscribe if you're new. Road to 500 subs. We are, I think, 83 off or something. I don't know, 82 off or something like that. We can get that soon, man. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Like the video up. And I'm out, people. Bosh.